Hello watch fans, it's Anders here on Watch On channel. Today a comparison between two of the very best retro divers we have seen in recent years. I really wanted to compare these two great watches, which are both a part of my collection as I'm kind of a dive watch nerd. One here is the super popular Tudor Black Bay 58, a watch I really enjoyed. This is kind of the Rolex Submariner that Rolex never did. Almost kind of the perfect Rolex Submariner that Rolex never actually made. And the other one is a much newer watch on the watch scene. This is the Seiko SPB143. This is a watch I reviewed. This unboxing of this watch is actually the most viewed video I have ever made on my channel in almost, it's like 4.5 years, which is kind of amazing. And this just says something about how much people actually love Seiko watches. So of course we have some clear differences. Two different brands. The sizes are a little bit different, and as you also can see, we get a date complication with the Seiko SPB143 compared to the Tudor Black Bay 58, which is a no date watch. But if you want a high quality retro diver from a very nice brand, these two are some of the very cool options. This is priced at around $3,800 to $4,000 and you can get it. I got this pre-owned and I got a really nice price. And this is kind of a new watch. It was released very recently. This is priced at around $1,200, but I already see that this price is going a little bit down in value, or it's being sold a little bit cheaper than the original price at $1,100. This comes in 4 different versions. You can have a look at Seiko's website if you're interested, but one of the cool versions is definitely the gilded version. So if you want the kind of warm gilded look that the Tudor Black Bay 58 has, then that could probably be the best comparison, the best choice. But these are the two watches I have in my collection. The Black Bay 58 also this year was released in an all blue version. So during this video I'm going to get into the wearability, the accuracy, the versatility, the value retention and the overall value. And let's start with some sizes. This is 39 millimeters from side to side. From lock to lock, we get 46.5. We get a thickness of 12 millimeters. This is 40.5 millimeters thickness of almost 14 and 47.5. So kind of comparable sizes, but you do get a little more of the vintage style with the Tudor Black Bay. The bracelet on this one is the original, and it's one of the very best Seiko bracelets I have ever tried. At this price range, you have to go up towards Grand Seiko if you want anything the quality of this bracelet. Really nice bracelet from Seiko, and that's often a problem with Seiko in my opinion. Their bracelets are just not good enough, but this is high quality. You can of course see the full review, also the unboxing first impressions video. You can find the links down in the description below or up in the right hand corner. It's the same with this watch. You can see the full review if you want. Click on the link up in the right hand corner or down in the description. This is an aftermarket bracelet, and you can definitely see this because it doesn't have the rivets that the original bracelet has, and it has this kind of anonymous clasp. This is a STRAPCODE bracelet. If you want to see the full review of the bracelet, I also did a full review video of this STRAPCODE bracelet, which is a really nice aftermarket bracelet. A lot of people actually like this aftermarket look a lot more than the original with the rivets. My wrist size is 7.1 inches, approximately 17.5 to 18 centimeters. And you can see this Black Bay 58, it wears amazingly. It's a rather slim watch at around the 12 millimeters. And with a lock width of less than 47 millimeters from lock tip to lock tip, it really wears nicely. This is kind of the perfect vintage inspired luxury dive watch in my opinion. And as I said in the start of this video, the very best Rolex Submariner that Rolex never actually made. At least a modern Rolex Submariner, and you can see the bracelet is top quality, a lot of micro adjust and a really nice secure clasp. Really nice finish as well on this STRAPCODE bracelet. So moving on to the Seiko, also a really nice clasp, fold over, and then you get this 2 push button open mechanism, 4 nice micro adjustments, solid end links and all of the good stuff, a really nice finish and a really nice wearability also with this bracelet. This wears a little bit bigger as you can see, but it's a really nice watch. A little bit heavier than the Tudor Black Bay 58, and I also think in some aspects also a watch that has a little more presence. So if you want a watch which is just a little more noticeable, a little more modern in its size because it's more than 13 millimeters thick and just a little below 48 millimeters from lock tip to lock tip and 40.5 millimeters in diameter, this is definitely the choice to go for. So both watches are really nicely wearable. I do think that the Tudor just wins, in my opinion, for my wrist size and also my taste in watches, and that's because it's a little bit slimmer, approximately 2 millimeters slimmer than the Seiko, and that's why the Tudor just wins this narrowly. The accuracy, both of these watches are really accurate. Of course, the Tudor, which is almost 4 times as expensive as the Seiko, it has the better movement. This is the in-house MT5402, and in my measurements on my time grapher and my reviews, I get between 1 and 2 seconds plus a day from this movement, which has a 70-hour power reserve. It is a high beat movement of 28,800 vibrations per hour. You can almost sense it if you look at how the second hand moves on the Tudor compared to the little more uneven second hand on the Seiko. So moving on to the Seiko, I'm very pleasantly surprised with this movement. This is the 6R35. It's an upgrade from the 6R15. It has a 70-hour power reserve just like the Tudor, which is a great upgrade in my opinion. It has a lower beat rate of 21,600 vibrations per hour, which is 3 Hz compared to the 4 Hz. So if you really like the more smooth movement of the second hand, then you should definitely go for the Tudor. This is very accurate for a Seiko movement. I get between 3 and 4 seconds plus a day. It does have a little bit of beat error and a lower amplitude than the Tudor movement. So in the movement department, of course, the Tudor wins. But please have in mind that it's 4 times as expensive as the Seiko. And this new movement with 70 hours of power reserve on the Seiko is just absolutely amazing. I'm a huge fan of the movement. So moving on to the versatility. This is kind of a harder choice, but I think that the Tudor again is a little more versatile, and that's maybe because it has this kind of warmer vintage inspired look compared to the Seiko. The Seiko is much more of a sports watch, and if you want the sporty look, the bigger look, the dive watch look, then definitely the Seiko is the one to go for. So I think it's kind of almost an even, it's a draw, because if you want the more dressy vintage inspired look, you go for the Tudor. If you want the more sporty look, you go for the Seiko. But both of these watches are very versatile. And what I really like with the Seiko is this gray sunburst dial. I think they made an amazing dial with this watch. Also, you can see the finish on the case, and also just look at the hour markings here, as well as the hands. It's just really nicely made. This is a 120 click unidirectional bezel. It's a little bit stiff, but nothing too much, and I think that it does a really nice job. I really enjoy the bezel action on this Seiko. Definitely some of the very best bezel actions I have had on a Seiko. No crown guards and an unsigned crown. With the Tudor you get only a 60 click, but listen to these clicks compared to the Seiko. It's absolutely amazing. Both are really nice, no backplay, everything aligns. It just feels amazing with these bezels. So I can't really state that one of these is the winner, but it's always nice to have 120 clicks. So maybe in the bezel department, the Seiko will win. You see, you get domed sapphire crystals, mostly on the Tudor, which are really nicely made. It really is you're able to read the time in different situations. So that's really nice as well. When we go to the value retention, I think that the Tudor will of course win. This is kind of a mini Rolex value retention. This has gone up in price. I actually made a few $100 owning this watch. I actually lost $100 owning this watch. But you shouldn't buy any of these watches because of the value retention. You should buy one of these watches because you really want a very nice vintage inspired modern dive watch. And you can see the case back here with the Seiko Wave. Really nicely made, really nice case, really easy to grip bezel. It's actually treated with the DiaShield coating, which means that it's kind of a coating that Seiko puts on both on the bezel and on the case to really make it a lot more scratch resistant, and it's really nice touch in my opinion. Again, look at this beautiful dial. I will say with the case it's really nicely finished on the Tudor, but as you can see, I have already scratched it a lot. And it's just kind of a scratch magnet compared to the Seiko because you get this high polish on the sides. So if you want a watch that can take a little more of a beating, then it's definitely the Seiko compared to the Tudor. As you can see with the Tudor on the left side, a really nice green lume with the really nice Swiss lume, and then you have the Seiko on the right side, and Seiko is of course famous for amazing lume. I think that it's almost a draw, but with the Tudor you actually get much bigger lume plots, as you can see. Also the hands are just more filled with lume compared to the Seiko. So you will get a little more lume. Just when you look at the lume, the lighting situation, the Tudor will just shine from the first step, but I actually experienced that the Seiko is really nice at keeping the lume going during the night. So that's a really nice thing as well. And of course we just need, before we do the conclusions, the case back of the Tudor. And it's a very sterile case back, just like we know from Rolex. So if you're comparing case backs, I definitely think that the Seiko has the better case back. But two vintage inspired dive watches, from some of the most popular brands and some of the best values in my opinion. So it's really hard to judge because one is 4 times as expensive as the other one. But if you're looking into the luxury department, I can definitely say that the Tudor will win. If you're looking into the entry-level luxury department, the Seiko is a really nice choice. You get a lot of beautiful history, heritage, and a really nice modern dive watch. So this was my comparison between these two beautiful vintage-inspired dive watches, heritage dive watches. Remember to see full reviews of both of these watches. The links are down in the description if you're interested. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's a big help. I'm almost moving towards 20,000 very soon, which is a really nice thing. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Visit my website wristwatchpassion.net. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. And don't forget to share this video on Facebook, on forums, and with other watch geeks. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.